Yeah, I mean they have some new players, they have some older players, but the same coach, same great system. It's just gonna be a really tough game. I think I've always said that their home court is one of the sneakiest probably in the Big Ten, just because the student section is right there. They just pack a lot of people in their small gymnasium, so it's gonna be a really good game.
For you guys, things were after the game Sunday maybe about as somber as we've seen, I think, understandably, in a while. How did you guys address that or try to bounce back from that for this week?
I think just moving on and trying to win this game. I mean, you only have, how many, we played, 2 games with no breaks, so you kind of just have to go into the next game. There's no time to be somber.
What's your best lineup configuration right now, you think?
For us, like what we...
Yeah. How do you feel like you guys are the best version of yourselves?
I don't know. I think it just depends on who we're playing against. I mean, I just play. I try to, obviously I'm in different roles, whether I'm the 4 or I'm the 5. But I think that's more for Coach Payne to decide. And I think it depends on, our matchup and who we're playing against. But also, who has fouls, who doesn't have fouls, and how's the games going.
The big picture of things, you guys right now aren't in all that different position than you were a year ago at this time. It seemed like you played your best basketball in the NCAA tournament. How do you guys start working toward that right now? Where does it have to turn?
Yeah. I mean, really, it's just, I just think once we reached the NCAA tournament last year for whatever reason, I think we got more locked in. The guys, we started caring more. When it's one game and you lose, you're done. It matters a little bit more. So I think that's going to help us.
Did you guys talk about how well you've played at times this season, too, in addition to obviously what you have to get better at right now to kind of focus on your potential and what you're capable of?
Yeah, absolutely, because those are data points. We're the same team that beat Alabama. We're the same team that obviously won the tournament earlier in the year. We're the same team that has been close against a lot of really good teams. So I think it's just kind of trying to obviously remember that and then work on the things you got to improve on.
The communication on defense. Anybody have to kind of take leadership of that, you think?
I'm not sure exactly whether it's one person or just team schematically what it is exactly, to be honest with you.
I think it was you that a few weeks ago was talking about how when you're playing hard, some of that stuff tends to follow with it. You feel like that was the order of where things fell apart on Sunday. If the effort had been there, then some of those other things followed.
I don't know. That's the thing, but it's also like it's kind of hard to judge effort too. It's like how do you really judge that? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, somebody dives on the floor, but it's like, I don't know. If you've ever played sports, the effort's a kind of hard thing to judge. So it's like, I don't know. Hopefully whatever you can say, effort, energy. Hopefully that can propel us to communicate more and do all these things. But at the end of the day, we got to do it. We got to do it, or we're going to go home.
Well, I don't know if you're going to specifically solely match up with Martinelli, but what makes him a difficult matchup?
Well, it's just a combination of a lot of things. First off, he's a really good player. He can hit a three. Shooting the highest percentage from 3. He can pull up. He can score with his back to the basket. He can pass. He can do everything on the basketball floor. But it's also, the coach gives him the ball a lot. He has a lot of opportunity on his team, and he's the, kind of go-get-it guy for them. So, when you have that and you have that confidence from the coaching staff and the players as well as being as good as a player as he is, it's hard to stop him.
Is there a bit of curse with how much experience you guys have, the extremes of your March success and early first-round loss? Do you guys kind of weighed by knowing that nothing you do in the regular season really matters compared to what people look like in March?
Say it one more.
Do you guys know almost too well that everything you do is defined by what you guys do in March?
I think in the back of our minds, yeah. And people don't realize that's hard. We've been so successful as seniors in our career. that it's, like at the end of like when we beat a team, it's like, oh, we should have won. We lose to a team, the world's falling over. So it's like a no-win situation, no matter what you do. So you kind of you have to rely. Each person's different, but for me, I have to just rely on my competitive nature and try to go out and win every game. But I think it's a lot harder being on the top than it is being the underdog in situations, for sure. Because when you have something to prove, it's a win-win situation. But if you're always ranked higher, expected to do well. Feels like there's no celebrations after wins.